and I nearly became the founder and managing director of a Mexican wrestling events business. I run a business called Carbon. It's a data management platform. So Carbon's job is to understand customers' website traffic, turn that into knowledge and insights, and then let them use that to drive profit and to leverage maximum value from the data that they've got but they're not using. Yeah, so the business got started. It was actually almost a byproduct of the larger parent company. The parent company produces lots and lots of data, and we needed a platform to collect and understand that data. So originally it was an in-house project, and over time we've begun to make that something that's a sort of B2B play, something we can productize and sell to other people. So my background is pretty much predominantly online. So I've been working in this sector for almost 20 years now. A bunch of quite large corporates, so businesses like Google and Yahoo down in London, and then quite a lot of small early stage startups. So I've sort of joined small teams and helped drive growth into quite sort of young nascent businesses. So the sort of fit here was interesting. I met Clicksco through my previous role at Google and worked with Clicksco for many, many years. They were my client, and then came across and sort of brought my product and technical knowledge into helping them grow out what is now Carbon. One of the things that we've discovered here, we're here for talent, so great developers. There won't be much business for us here, and that's not why we're located here. So our products and services tend to work better with sort of large enterprise type businesses. So big publishers tend to not be up in the northeast, and that's fine. They tend to be either London or actually, sort of more global. East Coast of the US is something that's important for us. Where I think we do offer some value and haven't really started to work hard at it yet, though, there are quite a good bunch of mid-sized agencies in the northeast, fast growing. There's even a couple in right around here. So Maybo, for example, in this building, there's probably a bunch of tools and products that could offer them some real value, but we haven't really explored that yet. But we will. They're our neighbours now, so we have to. Yeah, money no object. It's actually really easy. Just the best but free world-class education system up here. If you attract the world's best talent, we're going to build the world's best product. So, the most famous person I met, firstly it took me ages to even remember, because I've not really met anyone famous, and then suddenly I had this very vague memory of working with a guy, the Top Gear presenter James May. That's as famous as I can get. Most memorable festival, definitely first ever festival, which probably would be most people's most memorable. It was Reading 22, 23 years ago. Was finally considered grown up enough by parents to go and do that with a bunch of friends, and just blew my mind really. Just an amazing weekend. We saw a very early incarnation of Foo Fighters, which was really cool, and it wasn't that long after that Kurt Cobain had died, and it was all a big deal. So I mean, this was a long, long time ago. I think, if I remember correctly, Rage Against the Machine were playing as well, and I was quite into rock in those days, so it was pretty epic. Foo Fighters were unknown enough that they weren't on the main stage. They were really early days, so that was quite cool. So follow lots of sport, take part in less. In terms of stuff I like to watch, F1 and rugby, big fan of tennis as well. In terms of sort of playing sport, no team sports right now, haven't really found the time yet, but try and run quite a bit and try and train quite a bit. If running is classed as a sport, then I think I'll sneak that one in. I had to think long and hard about best sporting achievement because I've literally never won anything, but then I suddenly remembered I have run the London Marathon, so that sort of one of those things that I suppose some people would say is quite an achievement. So, favourite networking event up here, I haven't really been to many yet. It's been up a year and been working hard on building the business, but literally in the last couple of months worked very hard at starting to get to know all our neighbours and all the rest of the businesses. So I know the answer will become Refresh, and I ever get to go there. I live in a little sort of town/village called Norton, just outside Stockton, which is lovely. The kids go to school there. It's an easy drive into Borough from there. When we relocated, we could almost pick and choose any area in and around Middlesbrough, knowing that the office would be here, and discovered Norton and fell in love with it. So decided to go for it there, and it's just got nice little sort of bars and pubs and restaurants. It's got a pretty little village green with ducks and stuff, so it's cool. It's a really nice place. Favourite Teesside pub? Central Borough, probably the Brasserie, the Zetland building. I do my best to be kind to the planet I suppose in the low friction, slightly lazy way, so I make sure we recycle. And in the office actually here, we've just started to partner up with Maybo to share their recycling bin, so that we're doing a little bit for the the planet in the office-based stuff as well, because we were tossing a lot of rubbish away, and it struck me that as poor. Try and run and cycle and walk as much as I can, and don't eat much meat these days. Random act of kindness is something I always have this romantic idea of trying to do, that classic thing you see in the film where you pay for the next person's coffee. I never do. I do most months give a little bit of money to charity, even if it's a charity I've not heard of, but if they pop on my radar. And I come from a background of being a marketer, so if I notice good marketing, I kind of reward that. So some people will know, but very, very few who've only got to know me in the last 10 years or so, is that I'm an incredibly failed entrepreneur when it comes to an events business. And I nearly became the founder and managing director of a Mexican wrestling events business. I literally quit work, I nearly signed on some premises, I had some hires I was about to make, and fortunately, because I would have been broke for the rest of my life, the whole thing collapsed spectacularly. But it was going to be an interesting chapter in my life, let's say. And then I didn't become a Mexican wrestling entrepreneur, which was probably a good thing. Party trick, I am above average at balancing things on my head and my chin. Brooms, chairs, that kind of thing. So when I say above average, I mean, you know, most people will manage a second or two, I manage a minute. So.
Have you got any brooms?
Luckily, I don't see any brooms around, so you'll just have to take my word for it. Okay. If I didn't have to sleep at night, which I don't, I have kids, I would spend all night reading and listening to music. My one superpower is slightly glib, but it would be real empathy. So you can really understand other folk. I think it'd make you better at business, better in life. We all think we're semi-good at that, but I reckon there's a whole other level of it that some people are spectacular at, and I've not got that. If I had to lose a body part, it's really easy, it'd be a gut. So that's dead easy. Why? Because I try so hard to keep on top of it, and when you hit your 40s, it just gets harder and harder. So yeah, if that could be done like that, that would be fantastic. If I was to be in a movie, it would have to be big, and I'd be Josh Baskin, the coolest character in any movie ever. I missed it all, Sam. Just one take, easy peasy, all good.